not even, you go for it, given that this is some exercise in futility. I've hit record, but we are not having this fight. So knock yourself out, Raph, but whatever.
Okay, guys, we're at UFC 29. You know it is tradition for us to do an over-under Kevin. However, Kevin has asked me to say there is an asterisk that goes along with this because
this fight will not happen. Thank you.
Kev,
Thank you for the asterisk.
But the fight...
What?
Well, guest, hold on. We're not to you yet. We'll throw to you in a second.
Guest? We should do that more often. We don't
100%.
Guest enough.
But I want to make sure that people know that Kevin has gone on record as to say the fight between the main eventers, Khabib and Conor, will not take place. This has not been going on for just this episode. This has been going on for weeks. Kevin said this is the fight that's not going to happen. So, Kevin, are you telling me that without Conor and Khabib, the whole card will fall?
Obviously. This fight will have, who the hell knows what'll get thrown at the bus of this fight. That's a metaphor. I don't know. Maybe Conor's going to get Ebola. There's a lot that's going to happen between now and then that's not going to include a UFC fight. So they're going to cancel this one because as much fun as whoever's next will be, this is the main event.
Okay. Anyway, guys, I feel very badly because while I want to give Kevin the due of a very funny recurring joke and say, well, we don't have to do an over-under Kevin. We are contractually obliged to do an over-under Kevin every fucking pay-per-view. So that brings me to my point now, which is we decided to bring a guest who, guys, he just got 3,000 followers on his Instagram. He actually did a series of Mr. 3000, an obscure baseball movie starring Bernie Mac, as a series to congratulate himself for doing it. And I have to tell you guys, I think it's a little rude that you have not given this man more follows because I think he has put out some of the most consistently funny memes. And second, I think that he started off, Kevin, with a bang. You may remember him as the individual who put together the disappearing blue belt. Very funny meme that I said to myself, damn, this is his first video that he's putting out and it's already doing huge numbers. It only gets worse from here. So ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and welcome the individual, the human being behind Happy Rolling BJJ, Tony D'Onofrio. Tony, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How's it going, guys?
Very well, sir. Tell us a little bit about your page because, again, I think people are more familiar with your memes. They probably see them all over the place because motherfuckers be pirating that shit all the time.
And Brad,
I know. That's why
2018, Happy Rolling BJJ. In this year, you didn't want to go with Sad Rolling BJJ or something a little bit more real to the times?
Melancholy Rolling BJJ?
Yeah. There's actually one of my followers, his name is Grappling Depression. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's like my reverse Flash.
That's true. That's your nemesis.
Grappling. That is my nemesis. So I guess that just boosted him up like 3,000 followers because I name dropped him.
Well, thanks for the audience shout out numbers wise. But I would think specifically something like, yeah, Happy versus Depression Rolling BJJ is the real Batman versus Superman. But anyway, back to whatever it is, how you got started doing this.
Whatever fucking basic question we can ask you.
Yeah. Well, what was the question? I thought I started talking about the Flash and got confused.
Oh man, kid. All right, we're gonna take you right back to the beginning. Why the fuck did you make your page?
Yes. Why did I make my page? Because I love jiu-jitsu. It's always on my mind, even when I'm at work. I work as a nurse. I'm always thinking of jiu-jitsu. And even when the subject is not about jiu-jitsu, I will make it about jiu-jitsu, which kind of inspires the memes. I know you were saying earlier that a lot of people don't probably know who I am just because they see my memes. There are times where I put pictures of me in my memes and people still don't know it's me, which is funny. So I'll just, cap goes over people's heads. But, I'm just the guy that makes the memes. I just want to make the people laugh.
Noble goal, but they don't deserve it sometimes. The reason why, and I was actually today, the guy who runs McDojo,
Oh, that guy's awesome. Yeah.
He's okay. Don't give him that much. Rob
okay.
happened to be, he's in LA, and we ran into each other a couple times, and we were discussing the element of being in front of your page, because he was saying for the first 4 years, he was always behind the scenes, and a lot of memes come from people that you never know exist. You know, they try to really downplay themselves, and that's fine. I just have always had a certain mantra, which is I'm not going to make a joke about you on the podcast that I wouldn't say to your face. So every so often I throw a picture of me because I think it's good to be self-deprecating, and I laugh at myself a lot. But I think it's important that when the athletes look at us, they're like, who is this person? I'm like, it's me, asshole. So you know exactly what I look like. But on your side, though, you know, you don't really get too angry. You do a lot of really nice and funny, upbeat kind of stuff. So that's why when I saw Happy Rolling, I was like, I mean, I get it, but why just Happy Rolling? Why that, though?
Why that? There was I've been training for 9 years. I think I may have taken like 3 breaks from the mat. And, you know, I sometimes you blame jiu-jitsu for your problems. And it becomes one of those times where you finally are aware that, oh, you know what, jiu-jitsu was never the problem. I was a lot happier when I was on the mat rolling. So that's where like Happy Rolling kind of came from. Something I need in my life. Like,
take that, grappling depression.
Yeah, grappling depression.
I just like the idea that, you know, again, a lot of the mistakes I see most meme makers do, and again, there are many who are far more successful than us, but like, I think there's a difference between being an asshole and being funny. And the ones that always make me laugh have a certain creativity about them that makes me kind of go, oh, okay. And I think one of the reasons I wanted to pull you on the show was I did see that was you. And I did see that you were really cool at making fun of yourself in a way that rather than make fun of an individual sometimes, you're literally making fun of yourself and being like, hey, guys, me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something we learn on the mat is to be humble, laugh at yourself. I've made videos before where I play the brand new guy who doesn't know how to do, you know, basic mat movements, or the instructor's telling them, go ahead and grab the left sleeve. And I reach down and grab my belt. Like I think we all have to be humble and, you know, don't forget your roots. Like everyone's a beginner, and then they always teach us no ego in jiu-jitsu. So be humble or be humbled. Someone will come humble you.
This is a great time to talk about 2 of our best friends, the people that keep the lights on. ProvenNutrition.com, 100% biodegradable packaging, 100% natural ingredients, 100% improvement and results in what you need. ProvenNutrition.com. Tell them Verbal Tab sent you. We love them. I love their core drink. I really can't get enough of it. North, South, Jiu-Jitsu people, you already know. But if you don't, head on over. Check out the Navy. You're going to love it. Feel the grips on your hips. Feel the grips on your hips. NorthSouthJiu-Jitsu.com. It's the best underwear for doing what we love the most and fighting people. And doesn't have a second. It's just the first place, only place. Head on over to NorthSouthJiu-Jitsu.com. Thank you so much. Now back to regular scheduled Something About programming.
Kev, do you feel like you have to humble him once we play the game, though?
I was busy looking for out of breath BJJ to start my own line based off of how I feel typically, like when I'm doing it. Just wheezing uncontrollably BJJ has been taken, so I'm going to have to host it out. What's your training like? I see that you're a brown belt and shirtless on your Facebook profile, which speaks to either a lot of confidence or none. What's the jiu-jitsu journey for you?
The jiu-jitsu journey, I'm training about 4 to 5 days a week, and it's great. Life is great. I can't complain. Just
when did you start?
Get on the mat, have a good time. When did I start? I started training, I wrestled in high school, and then after I graduated, I became one of those washed-up wrestlers that just kind of lives in the past. hangs out by the wrestling room and just tells like the younger kids like, oh, back in my day, we used to do backflips out of cradles. Worked every time. But, I think I was watching a UFC marathon on Spike TV, and I was like, oh, I can do that jiu-jitsu stuff. I started training in 2009.
Damn. Okay. A while ago then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a journey.
And now climbing the ranks to the most dangerous of the belts. You can trust black belts.
I'm still going to suck.
You can't trust brown belts. You just can't trust them.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't exist. And you're doing it seems like you're competing as well, because this looks like a fight to win card. Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh, God. That picture was at the fight to win weigh-ins, which I did make the highlight reel that night. Unfortunately, I was the one getting submitted.
Somebody's got to. No, I'm just okay. So I'm getting a little bit better idea
I
who I'm going up against.
I even made a meme about that too. Yeah.
All right.
You're probably going to make fun of me later on the show, and I'll make fun of me even more.
I'm going to, but sadly not about competing at a high level. I'll find a different way.
We generally tend to like reserve our making fun of people competing at a high level for like Gary Tonin, because he's done something that merit being an asshole, or those of those ilk. The individual who shows up at a fight to win and does that, I'm not going to make fun of. The individual who shows up and does Baby Shark dance is not going to be somebody I make fun of, but the rest of the internet community will lose their shit and say like, well, this is what we're losing. You do understand. I have no interest in really competing. However, I messaged the guy who sent that to me and I go, that's what I have to do. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, I have to compete at a fight to win. And when I say I have to compete at a fight to win, I just want to do the walkout and then just be like, cool, I'm done. Thanks, everybody. I did the amazing dance-off walkout that was reminiscent of Pride 2005 of Anderson Silva walking out and the best of the best who created spectacles. And then I'm just going to sit down and be like, nah, I don't want to do the match. That was fun.
That walkout is probably one of the coolest things. Like when I was younger, probably back in middle school, I always dreamed of myself being a professional wrestler. So to walk out on a freaking ramp and they're playing, I think I had Rage Against the Machine, and I even turned around and did a Chris Jericho pose. I was like, oh, this is so awesome.
Oh, too soon. Of all the wrestlers you could choose to do, why Chris Jericho, sir?
I don't know. I just like the cool. I remember, the Y2J countdown, and then the lights go out and the fireworks go off, and it's just like a shadow of him with his arms out. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't going to come out like Val Venus in a towel. Oh, maybe I should have.
Would have been funny. I definitely think people would have been talking about it for years to come. You might not ever be on another fight to win, but
or any fight card in general.
Yeah. The weird part about like Chris Benoit is I was just like, really? And then I thought of it. I was like, maybe he hasn't made it all the way to the end of the series on the Chris Benoit story. So there's that. But the Chris Jericho is amazing. I have to ask this. If you're a pro wrestling fan, how come you've not done one single WWE BJJ film for us?
Film or a meme?
Yeah, well, not even a meme. During the week, we have WWE BJJ Week, where we have people submit videos of them doing pro wrestling moves. Kid, you're so new to the scene. All right, we're going to walk you through this whole thing.
Oh, my God.
Maybe indifferent rolling BJJ would be a better name. Maybe not paying attention, BJJ. Raph, damn it.
Yeah. It was like, we set this fucking world on fire each. Like, we literally talk to the biggest meme makers and say, do something. And everybody always puts together a goofy video of them doing some stuff. I'll send that to you later.
Oh,
but Kev, did you get a moment?
I'm gonna submit so many videos. Oh my gosh. I'm excited.
I mean,
like all my teammates are all wrestling fans.
That's amazing. Because honestly, that's the whole thing, is we find that there are a bunch of nerds who probably watched pro wrestling to begin with, and then now are, matured into UFC fans who have no idea that
matured. Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of people
literally have. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying a lot of people think that they're way more mature than they are. So it's usually with quotation marks.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's funny because my teammates, they'll be on the mat butterfly stretching. I just come in with like 17 super kicks to their face.
Oh my God.
Just to keep them in check. Yeah, that's what kind of teammate I am.
I mean, that's essentially what I do. I was actually discussing the merit behind how I'll choose to do pro wrestling moves with people because I say I don't pick on the innocent. Kevin's probably the only person who just doesn't care about pro wrestling that I actually will do pro wrestling moves to, just because I think it's really funny how much he doesn't like it. And there's always a juxtaposition of him being like, all right, get on with it. But I feel like for so many other people, if they're fans and I can hit like a Boston Crab in the middle of a roll, I usually do it when they get lazy. Or if they're a big fan and I'm just like, I think they'll get a kick that I can do this transition. And, a lot of times I'll hit like a figure four or something. And But I was telling Kevin one day that somebody came up to me and I took a selfie with them. And they go, oh, dope. That's cool. So cool. Thanks, man. I really appreciate the photo. And I was like, no problem. The next day they saw me do a WWE BJJ video with somebody else. And they go, I'm sorry, how come I didn't get one of those? And I was like, we were just taking a selfie, dude. I didn't know that you wanted to do one. He's like, that selfie's garbage. I want to do a pro wrestling move with you, Raph. And I go, holy fuck, guys. Calm the fuck down. I can't come up with that many transitions. So anyway, all right, Tony, let's circle back to a couple things. You were saying that you were training, you started in 2009. When's the moment you love jiu-jitsu?
Oh, the moment I knew I loved jiu-jitsu. I think it had to been towards the end of my white belt journey. I was getting closer to blue belt, and that's all I could picture myself doing for the rest of my life is showing up to a gym, getting on the mats, rolling with people. I mean, I had a lot of, good influences on my team, the higher ranks, people I looked up to, people I admired so much. And I was like, this is something I've been missing my whole life, which, jiu-jitsu, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people didn't have a lot of resources back then. Nowadays, like, you got schools that have morning class at 6 a.m., 10 a.m. class, noon class, evening class, beginner class. It's like 6 days a week, and then you get these internet resources of learning jiu-jitsu, everything. They got so many resources. And I'm like, wow.
Kevin, one of the things that we always like to do on the show is make sure that you have enough intel so that when you get to the insulting part, you can do that sort of a thing. I just need to make sure that you approach this with some sensitivity, Kevin, because his screen name is Happy Rolling BJJ. And so far he's given very little indication he goes outside the realm of the Mike Schur Pawnee version of making fun of people, which is that they usually try to do upbeat and nice humor. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to insult this human being?
What type of nurse are you?
Not a good one.
Perfect. So nursing and jiu-jitsu, and you've already told us you struggle sometimes keeping those separate, which is very helpful for me. What else? Failed wrestler, but in addition to that, any other key notes? What else do we need to know about you?
Failed wrestler. Let's see. I'm a musician. How about that?
What type of musician?
Very sexy one.
I more meant like, do you
I'm sorry.
play an instrument of a specific variety? Mandolin?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Play the guitar.
Gotcha. Mandolin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that our listeners understand that when asked what does he play, Tony responded with sexy. Yeah. And it was like, no, what instrument do you play? The sexual one.
The sexy one.
The sexual instrument.
Got it. So here we go.
Now, here's the funny part, Kev. Now I've asked you that question. Tony, we're about to get into the part where we have to make fun of each other. Now, you don't make fun of me, you make fun of Kevin. But are you capable of that? Because I know that you're funny in terms of memes, but do you feel comfortable making fun of Kevin?
It depends. I need some intel. I see that he is one of those guys in his picture that wears a mismatched D-top with his pants.
Uh-oh. Yeah, occasionally. I used to wear like blue pants with a white top. Basically a Corianti of the standard single color variation. People wrote articles about me. Boy, I've got to be. It's like, what the hell's he looking at? That's where he's.
Yeah, I know. I was like, how far back did you go, sir? Because Kev,
Like,
if that's as
been a
bad
while.
as it's gonna get, I'm a little not nervous for you.
No, we'll be fine. And
Yeah, nervous.
I filled out the sheet where I'll keep track, and under my nickname for my column, I put Woman Jesus, and under his, I
Ooh,
put
that's a
a
good one.
tour bus incident, and I feel like I crushed it.
I think I'm gonna dub you washed up Craig Jones.
Whoa, Kev, you know what that means. At one point, you were Craig Jones, though.
Oh,
But
I
you've
was
been
gonna
washed
say
up.
washed
I
up.
mean,
yeah, that's
all I need
the
to tell you
nicest
guys
my
is this.
jiu-jitsu's ever been complimented.
If
ever.
you ever see Craig Jones near any kind of food, you can very quickly see Craig Jones washed up right in person. Coming up this week at Quintet. Anyway, I kid. We love you, Craig.
Ooh.
Kev, are you ready
That
to
guy's
do
awesome.
the game?
Now it's time for another thrilling installment of Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to an installment of Over Under Kevin UFC 229, which Kevin exists.
Yes, in theory, and that's what you've said, but much like I've heard that the Earth is a globe, there's people that say otherwise, Ref.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the way this works is we go through the entire card randomly. I give each participant 15 seconds to say who they think is going to win, and then if I so deem it, I give them 15 seconds of rebuttal time. Although we like correct picks, we have an even bigger appreciation of who talks the most shit on this game. Gentlemen, do you both understand the rules?
I
Pettis.
just can't make memes about this, huh?
No, you can't go off into like a corner and then get 30 minutes to come meme it back.
Oh, okay.
Though if you were a real professional, you would have already memed your picks. Ayo, Ref.
Oh.
Just he has revealed that he accidentally crosses BJJ and nursing. So I have a real moment where it's like, sir, the results are back. You have chlamydia. But just as soon as you're done grappling that with antibiotics, and he throws him the card. He's like, swing by, happy rolling BJJ.
Oh, nice.
Is that how?
Nice.
Don't stop writing it down. Don't say that to anyone.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad that both of you understand the rules. It seems like you've had some sort of cordialness to one another. Before we do start, do you have anything that you would like to say to Kevin while we're still in that nice transitional time? Anything good sportsman, or do you want to go the heel angle? I'm asking this to you, Tony.
Kevin, I'm really proud of you in making it to purple belt. That's a very hard thing to accomplish in the jiu-jitsu world.
Oh, here we go. I can already. This is classic brown belt bullshit. Yeah. All right, Ref. All right.
Invisible jiu-jitsu.
I think that's the best. This is the exact opposite of a guest that we've had that just like they take the bait every time. They always go, yeah, fuck Kevin. Like it doesn't without any prompting. They're just like an excuse to hate on him. Done. You're the first person to almost try it, but I'm not going to let you do it when the game starts, which is right now. Kevin, you're going to go ahead and start us off. I have put 15 seconds on the clock for you to tell me who you think, Kevin, is going to win between a fight in a flyweight category. Sergio Pettis versus Juicier Formiga.
I'm so confused what we're doing in the Pettis family. Are we fighting on the same card? Are we not fighting on the same card? It's really frustrating, but how can I say no when I see that charming prince? He belongs in a Disney animated film, but I'll settle for this fight. Sergio Pettis.
Sergio Pettis. Okay. Same question over to you, good Sir Tony, and you got 15 on the clock. Go.
Sergio Pettis. This is the first time I've ever heard of the guy. He's part of the Pettis family. I'm going to go with Pettis as well. That wasn't a lot of trash talk, was it?
Well, okay, Kev, does this concern you that you're going up against somebody who just discovered that there's two Pettises?
Wasn't listening. I got some Blue Dream at the dispensary, so I was just trying to compete with myself by stunting my own performance mentally. I've heard marijuana does that. We'll see what happens. I'm also busy trying to order alcohol off Postmates, so if anyone has any advice.
Holy cow, you got the whole Sunday night planned out.
Now, Tony, when I asked you, would you like to be on the show? And I said research wasn't required. Did you at all research anything?
Yeah, I researched the main card. I didn't know you were going to ask about the freaking NXT card.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
it's just
Oh,
elitism.
NXT is
Here we
way
go.
better than the main product. Everybody knows that. Good try. Move around.
NXT's amazing.
Oh my God, he tried an NXT joke. It's just not as gonna
And
fly.
I thought Raph was going to get me a doctor, but here we are, both slumming it in the undercards. I want to be super clear. I'm kidding to all nurses. You're the glue that holds life together. Quick caveat.
100%.
Before I go to the hospital a lot, so I don't upset nurses.
Yeah, learn to tap early, man.
I mean, Kevin is not afraid to tap. I don't think it's that. I think it was a series of just being in jiu-jitsu and his body going, can we take a break? So we'll see him back.
Oh, that's one of the master's problem then, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man.
Let's discuss this. Tony, you're going to tell me who you think is going to win in a women's bantamweight fight between Lena Lansbury and Yana Kanitsukawa. And go.
Oh, my God. There's like so many syllables in that name. Let's see. Yana Kunitskaya from Russia. If she's Russian, she's going to win. Russians always win.
Okay, so who are you going with here?
Yana Kunitskaya.
Okay. Just wanted to see,
That
Kevin.
text I just casted.
Very nice. Yes, we'll have to reverse it like the end of Jumanji at the end. Kevin, what do you have for us?
Normally, I'd take a geopolitical agreement with him. Yana's from Russia, where they don't have the best universal health care, but Lena's from Sweden, where it's rocking. So I think she fights with a little more reckless abandon, knowing her bill's free, whatever happens. Lena Landsberg.
Kev, do you get the impression that this is a person who's doing the book report and just showed up and he goes, yeah, no, I got this. Give me a second. Moby Dick is about a guy named Moby. He was a DJ.
And a dick. That's where the name came from. He was a real ass to everyone.
Yeah. So, end of story.
And he learned his lesson. And I think we all did by the end of the book. No questions. Thank you.
But he probably also says that one thing that the teacher goes, he didn't read this bullshit. And then all of a sudden he goes, but he's really fighting against himself. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Wow. I've never had an interpretation like that. You got that book. You really did. And he's like, yup. Passing. Hey, guys, I'm ready to do this next fight. It's a light heavyweight bout between OSP and Dominic Reyes. Kevin, you start off. 15 seconds on the clock, please.
First of all, I want more points for making a geopolitical healthcare joke. But I'll take OSP because OSP, I was trying to do a pun. I was like, ISC enough, but it didn't work. I'm just going to go with the man that has my favorite choke.
Kev, can I just say this? If you really wanted to do something, all you have to do is turn it into a song and just say, you dealt with OSP? Yeah, you know me.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you know me. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Ref.
Everybody. Okay. Kevin's got OSP. Tony, who do you have for us on this one?
So this is the person I actually researched last night. This is Reyes. I think he's been doing a lot of victories with that Darsaconda he's doing. Mm-hmm. So if OSP's not going to land his Von Flu choke, I'm going to go with Reyes.
Wait, is that a conditional that you just put there?
Yeah.
No. You have to pick one. No. You can't say
OSP. I can't pick both.
No. You can't put a hex on. Like, this isn't Doctor Strange handing over the time stone to Thanos. This is us trying to figure out and going, no tricks for real. Did you say if OSP doesn't hit his choke, his Von Flute choke, well, then Dominic wins?
That's what I said.
No.
That is what I said.
No, it's not how this works. Pick one or the other. So you're picking Dominic.
All right, I'm going. I'm taking Reyes. Darsaconda.
All right. Thank you. Kevin, these things are getting out of control.
No, but he walks into his patient's room. He's like, bad news is you've broken your leg. The good news is you're going to be very hard to knee bar for a while. High fives him and exits the room. People are like, that nurse is pissing me off.
It's essentially the literal doctor from Arrested Development.
Yes, he's my favorite. I just like taking jiu-jitsu twists on everything.
Absolutely.
Hey, you should start a meme page.
Hey,
I'm employed on the internet.
Hold on. Slow your roll here, kid. I want to make sure we can bookmark this for everybody. I enjoy when the new people are like, well, maybe you guys should make memes. Shut up, kid. I was making memes when you were literally doing all of your fucking nurse work. in
Medical
the
Puns
nursery.
BJJ is available, Raph, if you want me to nab it.
I know. We should 100% do that. To get back at it, we'll become nurses now, too. No, we'll become doctors. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, you better. You speak for yourself. There's science and math required then, I think, right?
I mean, if he can do it, why can't we? Anyway,
Kansas.
heavyweight fight. Guys, I'm excited about this one because it makes no sense. Derek Lewis versus Alexander Volkov. Tony, you go first, 15 seconds.
Another Russian guy. I'm going Volkov. He had all that reach, and Derek Lewis's last fight was really crap.
Okay, that's fair. Kevin, what do you have for us?
I'm upset that I agree with him, but I'm a little worried about his continued taking of Russian fighters. I know I only picked this fighter because I saw a very credible meme from AmericansWeTrulyAre.net that said Volkov was a major favorite and Derek Lewis is a socialist. So I'm going to believe the internet like a fucking idiot would and take Volkov.
Okay. I have too far on this one. You both are agreeing on Volkov. I'd like to reintroduce their names. Kev, can I do that?
Please.
Okay. This is a heavyweight bout between Derek Lewis and Alexander Voltron.
Voltron.
I like Voltron better on this one. Number 2. Now, Tony, you seem to be taking all of the Russians, as Kevin has pointed out, which begs the question, are you a bot?
Yes.
And then follow-up question, I'm glad you answered before that. Are you a bot? And number 2, are you Be First Apparel? Because, motherfucker, every time we put up a post, they literally have stopped making any form of English sense when they just say, hey, back in the day, they go, we love your posts. Follow us for a rad time and great apparel. And I go, okay, that's fine. Stupid Be First Apparel. And I distinctly remember one person saying, hey, I think we got a sponsorship. And I was like, no, we did not. However, Be First Apparel also now has gotten to the point, Kevin, where they've degenerated and they've just gotten rid of verb, conjugation, and every way form where
Vowels.
They just go, hey, success, you enjoy me now, America. And I go, I don't know what that meant.
That happened on the EBI broadcast briefly. Nick couldn't get out swept in the past tense. He was trying to say he got swept. It was a nice sweep. And he couldn't get past sweeped ED. It was like he got sweeped there, and it was like, close. He struggled so much with it.
I love it. That's great. All right, Kev, you take this one. It's a Gray Maynard versus Nick Lentz. Go.
Battle of the who looks more apathetic in their picture. Yeah, I'm going to go with Gray Maynard because I like it when people embrace their gray.
Thank you for that. Tony, who do you have on this fight?
I am also looking at the fight picture, and I'm going to have to go with Gray Maynard. He's got the tattoos. He has some kind of muscle appearance.
Okay. Hold on. Time out.
Evolving in front of our very eyes, Raph.
Nope. Hold on. Kevin, I'm giving you 25 seconds to discuss your thoughts on muscle appeal.
It's 100% how you predict fights.
Muscle appeal.
It matters. I mean, I'm talking to a nurse, so you know the body like anyone else. Muscle is the most important thing. Abs equal championships.
No, Kevin, I have to ask this. Is that something that you see on the new UFC video game? Do they have a bullet point that says muscle appeal 96?
They have. Well, if their abs are higher than Gary Tonon's jiu-jitsu skills, I'm voting for them. And I'll remind people he was given like an 81% out on the FC rankings, which is our favorite.
Kev, Gray Maynard's keys to success are, number 1 is muscle appeal.
Number 2, what a low body fat percentage. Look at this guy. He's in the 3s.
Yeah.
Feeling that non-fat. And number 3, his peen. If we're really being honest, it's an extra tripod, which gives you more pressure, as we all know.
Plus, he passed the quarter test with a record score. Don't know what the quarter test is. We take the tightest buttocks, and we bounce a quarter right off it. You'd be surprised how many fighters participate. Gray Maynard carries the title.
Do we do that one justice, Kevin?
I think we're all set on the
I
Musk.
think we 100% did our run. I want to make this very clear to people. As we go on, the gentlemen have agreed on 3 fights together. So I guess the question is, Tony, are you afraid to act out of Kevin's shadow? Because Kevin has made 2 picks that you have followed in suit with.
Yeah, you're tracking that.
It's what happens when you write
I'm
things
not
down.
afraid.
Yes.
Mm.
I'll ask the same
No,
question.
I'm not afraid.
Kevin, is he afraid though?
I tell you, I am. I'm about to start
Am I
reaching for
afraid?
some parody because he keeps saying things that really match up with my judging criterion. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
sometimes I got to go with my instincts and reverse
Muscle
them to
appeal?
stay afloat.
That's a little appeal. Here's a little story that you may not be familiar with. On our show, Kevin has 100% picked fighters based on their abs before, their hair. Kevin is basically everybody's girlfriend who wins the March Madness bracket by picking whatever mascot looks doper. Like, that's sometimes his skill, though it does not always work. All right, let's go to a welterweight fight between Vincente Licker and Jalen Turner. Tony, you start us off on this one.
Oh, God. Jalen Turner doesn't have a picture. I'm going with Vincent Luce. Vincente Luce?
Don't do an un-American version of his name. It's Vincent here. Kev, what do you got for us on this one?
See, I'm going with the tarantula because I do see his picture. And I like the height and I like a little bit of that massive reach advantage. I'm taking the tarantula, Julian Turner.
Kev, I'm going to tell you this right now. That's not a terrible pick for the following reason. If you remember, the fight I have said many a times on this podcast is one of my favorite fights I've ever seen live between Rich Leroy. The opponent was Jalen Turner. And Jalen Turner and him put on one of the best fights for CXF for just anything I've ever seen live. So he is a tough motherfucker. I believe he fought recently at Bellator. I don't even know if this is his second or third time fighting for the UFC. It could be his first, but he's very tough. So, Kev, you're not completely out of the realm on this one.
Thank you.
By accident.
No, I do that. RFA champ. Big guy. Love him at XFC, whichever. He was King of the Cage Warrior, Matt Space, something. Great guy. Good fighter.
You know, do we just really create a word bank that everybody creates all of their events from? King Mats.
I've been listening to a lot of football coverage today, so I think I'm ready.
All right. Lightweight bout. Gents, I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds to talk about this fight because I'm excited about it. Kev, it's a lightweight bout between Tony Ferguson and Anthony Pettis. Who do you have?
So normally, I would take Pettis in this I'm going to submit people resurgence he's been a part of. But he said it himself. When the poco hombre fights his little hermano, he really struggles to focus. I'm already doing my NBA talking head voice. I just don't think he can do it with his brother, Raph. I have to take Tony El Suicide Ferguson in this match.
All right. Let's go to our next one. Tony, what do you got for us here?
So this actually is one of the ones I researched last night. I'm going to choose Anthony Pettis because I was watching a Tony Ferguson highlight reel and I did not like the music that they used. So I'm going with Pettis, just based on music.
Was it dubstep? What was it?
It was like generic
Soft-
WWE rock music.
Soft country? Oh, okay.
Got it. So it was basically Eddie Bravo's band, right?
Yeah.
Got him. Anyway, I want to make sure that I did. You know what the worst part is? I say that joke and I'm like, it might be.
Wait.
Kev, are we afraid that Tony Ferguson is going to trip over anything else?
Sure. Raph, this fight's not happening. None of the fights are happening. The only person that's going to show up at the fight is OSP and Derek Lewis's friend because he didn't get the text. That's all. That's all that's going to be there.
This is the closest I think Kevin has ever come to trying to instigate the more mediocre moments of Jerry Seinfeld of like, this fight's not happening. It's not happening. So
that's a really good Jerry.
Thank you. Some of us are talented in ways that aren't just memes. Kid, I want to ask you this. Tony.
Yes.
I'm curious your thoughts, because did you happen to see the meme that I enjoyed greatly about Tony Ferguson doing some weird thing with an Olympic barbell and then putting two kind of cylinder blocks on it, and it just said, "Yo, why Tony Ferguson looked like he got his dick stuck in an electrical socket."
I did see that meme. That was amazing. Who made that one? Strangle Squad?
That was the Strangle Squad. They knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah.
But Tony,
those guys are great.
They're pretty good. I want to ask this though, Tony. When you see that meme, can you tell me the reason he's doing that exercise?
I can't tell you. If it's gonna make him a winner in MMA, then might as well do it. I'm gonna start doing it. That way I can win Worlds and Pan Ams next year.
No one knows why the fuck he was doing it. And I've really been trying to get down to the bottom of it. I had real people who do fitness work who go, "This is a funny meme, but can you tell me what he's doing?" It was like, why are you asking me? I have no idea what the fuck's going on here. So anyway.
There's a method to the madness. Method to the madness.
You know what? I'm asking what the method to the madness is. I don't think it's crazy to just say like, "Cool, there's a method to the madness. May I ask what it is?" Oh, no one knows. Thank you very much, everybody.
I'm going to post a picture of me doing that workout next week.
You know what? The worst part is, if you come back to us and you tell us, you're like, "Actually, it really works, guys."
Crushed it.
I've never
come back promoted as a black belt. You guys aren't going to believe it.
All right, here's the next fight. It's a women's strawweight bout between Michelle Watterson and Felice Herring. Tony, you go first.
So I'm going to choose Michelle Watterson. I think she's known as the karate hottie. She posted a pic the other day. She's looking strong.
Oh, okay. That's sounding positive.
You know what pic I'm talking about.
I think many of us are very familiar with what pick you're referring to. Kevin, who do you have on this one?
She also did ESPN's The Body Issue, which is just telling me one thing. Success has already gone to her head. She doesn't need to prove anything inside that cage. I'm going with Felice Herring, the little bulldog. I'm going to move to 15-7.
Kev, do you have any real reason for going for Felice, though?
I do not. Thank you for asking.
Wow. I was just curious because, I mean, both of them are attractive people, so, like, I get it. It makes sense. It's just, I think we covered the fact that they're very attractive people. Did we not?
Her and
I
Little
think we need
Pettis,
to go over it again.
Okay.
Her and Little Pettis genuinely belong in Hollywood. It's like, what are you two doing as fighters? I'm just curious. It's like, go make Frozen the live movie or something.
To be fair, though, Kevin, when you say something like that, it makes me wonder, though, legitimately, did they have a Fox sitcom that we just never remembered happening?
Pettis and Herring, yeah.
Yep.
And the sitcom is they get booked to fight each other and they don't know it. I'm watching that. Where's Dana? This is way better than that Tuesday bullshit he has on.
This kind of reminds me of, I think it was your last week's show with the Kasai CEO. He was talking about his daughters and his daughter's friends talking about the Kasai matches. They don't know any of the fighters. They don't know any of the jiu-jitsu that's going on. But like, oh, Craig Jones, he was doing really good out there. He looks really good.
They'd know about the 8-part Netflix series called Fighting Matrimony. I don't know. I'll name shop. The name's terrible.
Actually, no. Fighting Matrimony has some kick to it, Kev. Because they have like one of them has like a MMA glove and the other one has like a boxing glove, and it's like their side profiles.
Raph, till the third round do us part. I'll keep them firing at you. Don't worry.
Oh my God. It's no wonder we don't have shit on Netflix yet, kids. Hey, it's about this time that I like to tell the guest that there's usually a wager. Now, all of us are involved in jiu-jitsu, so there's not actual money to be made in this. So we don't do any like money sport sort of wagers. Kev, can you tell us some wagers in the past that we've done?
Sure. Social media announcements, 5-star reviews. For example, you do memes, so there's the potential that I might just have you spend a day memeing that there should be a show starring Pettis and caring at Netflix, and I might demand that's all you do for a day. There's a lot of things we could throw out there, Raph.
Yeah, but do we have to talk about it as if it actually happened and just never tell anybody?
Just do a day tribute to this 8-part series.
So here's the thing, Tony.
Okay.
Kevin did something that we've never done before, which is normally we wait to say what the wager is, and we allow the guest to come up with what it is. Because we say, oh, here are some examples. Kevin came up with a really good one, but that doesn't have to be the one we agree to. So you have 3 fights to figure out if there is a wager you would like to make that is different than the one that Kevin proposed. So you got a little bit of time. In the meantime, Kevin, I'm going to ask you to say who's going to win in the welterweight bout between Ryan LaFleur and Tony Martin.
I always love it when someone like LaFleur is fighting, especially as we open up this card. But Tony Martin sounds too close to Ricky Martin, and I kind of want him to jazz it up or give me a little yes. So I'm going to go with the one that kind of sounds like Ricky Martin.
Okay, that's close. Now I'm going to ask this, Tony. Are you going to agree with Kevin and say that Tony Martin's going to win, or are you going to be Ryan Lay Unfair?
I'm going to go with Ryan LaFleur. He reminds me of Ric Flair's name instead of Ricky Martin. Ric Flair's a lot cooler. And I guess he has that muscle appeal that I look for.
Muscle appeal deal. See, Kev, I think we've answered why he ended up shirtless on his Facebook page. I think that the whole part of him being on there was just like, I want to show you guys my muscle appeal.
So you'll think I'm going to be a good fighter because I've heard, and frankly, it's working. As soon as I saw him shirtless, I was like, that guy better know how to heel hook someone.
Yeah, no shit. Gentlemen, let's keep this going. Women's bantamweight between Aspen Ladd, which again does not sound like a real name. Aspen Ladd sounds like a black diamond course that you ski down. So there's that. And Tanya Evinger. Tony, you start us off.
Oh, God. Aspen Ladd, I really like the name. It reminds me of a nice little indie band name. Aspen Ladd.
That's a good one.
Tanya Evinger's nickname is Triple Threat. I do not understand it, but I find it frightening. So I'm going to go with Evinger.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, Kevin, I have to ask you this because you're the opponent to him here. Does it sound like every time we ask Tony who he thinks is going to win, we are putting the most pain on him because every one of his picks starts with, oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, you wouldn't make me choose. How? Oh, if only you guys had warned me that I need to pick people.
I didn't say anything about the undercard. It's okay. The fight's not happening, so I understand his disdain. I think he's just giving it what it deserves, the proper amount of apathy.
Fair enough. Do you have any response to that, Tony?
And that's how I start all my sentences. With everything.
What you want for dinner, you're just like, oh, God.
Nurse, did you hear that?
I become a...
They said I'm all healed. Yeah, I heard. Good for you. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, it's the family asking how the surgery went.
Pretty well. You should be able to see him soon.
So let's go on right now. Kevin, you're going to tell us who's going to win in a lightweight bout between Scott Holzman and Alan Patrick.
Yeah. If there were a fight I was going to say could most likely break out in song and dance, I'd give it to this one. But I'm going to go with one of my favorite nicknames, Nougat, Alan Patrick, because it looks like nougat. And I immediately was like, yeah, I could go for a chocolate. I could. It's not nougat. It's something else. And the other one's hot sauce, Raph. A real battle of this is a difficult one to pick. Alan Patrick.
Patrick it is. All right, Tony, who do you got?
I'm going with Scott Holzman. Alan Patrick does not sound like a legit Brazilian name.
You take that back.
There's no silent R's in that name. I'm sorry. Scott Holtzman, hot sauce.
Hot sauce versus nougat.
We got a real
Yeah.
taste of. I know that Tony says he works as a nurse, but he does live in Arizona, so it sounds like in his off time he also serves as border patrol because he looks over and goes, "There's not enough R's in this name. How Brazilian are you, brown guy?"
Yeah, I do border patrol on the side, I guess,
Excellent.
because no one can pass my guard. I just lay out there. My legs up.
Oh no!
I like dad jokes at BJJ.
No.
Those fire. This is topical too.
Oh,
That's one
God.
of the worst
There goes
jokes I've
politics.
ever heard. Oh man, I can't get enough of it though. That's
Happy
great.
Rolling had a good run.
All right, now I was waiting to save this one before we get to the main event. Now, Kev, I messaged you a little bit beforehand, and I want to make sure people know that the bit doesn't end when we're off air. Because when I said, "Hey, Kev, this week's an over/under week," and Kevin goes, "Fight's not happening," and I go, "We're not on air. You don't have to do this now. You don't have to be AJ Agazarm and pretend to be a heel, even when I'm talking to you. Just be a human."
Sorry,
Anyway.
man. That's how I feel.
It's fine. It's fine.
Can't break kayfabe.
He can and does when he feels like it. And Mario Lopez is around. And he's like, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Slater. I'll get you. I'll say." True story. Anyway, when I sent you a link, Kevin, what was it?
You sent me. Oh God, I should definitely remember what it was. It wasn't that long ago. Something about it looked like you sent me John Ralphio had failed a drug test. I was like, that makes sense. But upon further investigation, it was Sean O'Malley, a fighter.
Yes.
Whoa.
So this is how the internet works. Every so often we do this show, and then like all of a sudden 2 days later it comes out, and they say this fighter's not going to be on this week's card. This could still happen. We're not putting anything out there. The next fight already has a series of jokes.
Hold up,
But to
Raph,
give
I'm ready.
Kevin-
I've got one. I mean, I
No.
expect O'Malley to fail an alcohol test. You get it?
Yep.
But drugs.
Got him. But when I sent Kevin that note, he goes, "John Ralphio just failed a drug test or a test." And I was like, "Yeah, that's not looking good." So they actually updated the Wikipedia page. And what it says right now on the Wikipedia page for UFC 229 is Jose Alberto Quinones versus TBD. So for shits and giggles, who do you guys got? Kevin, is it TBD or Jose Alberto Quinones?
I gotta take TBD. I just gotta roll with I don't know. First, I want to be on that side of history.
I want to be
on that side of history.
We've never done this. There's never been a moment where it said TBD and we said, "Fuck it, we don't know who it is." So if this fight happens, we will 100% lock in TBD as your pick. Tony, who are you picking?
You know, that TBD sounds very interesting.
Oh, for the love of God.
We're riding
Somebody
together.
different
We're
did.
riding together.
All right, fine. You ride and die
We're riding together. Yeah.
Fine.
Bad boys for
I
life.
had something really good. I had a great bit that I expertly set up, and then you motherfuckers just like shat on it. So now there's no fun in this one. Fine.
Oh, yeah, don't force it.
Don't force it. Don't tell me how to do
Don't force it.
Listen here, Mr. 3000. When you get to Mr.
Oh,
8.5, I don't know how many people have deleted us. 8.5 roughly. Not quite good enough to make people get the link that takes them on Instagram. I'll tell you this much. We're close, motherfuckers. But we always offend somebody. So there's always somebody who's like, "Nah, I don't like verbal tap anymore." And it's just like, I can care less. All right. I'm going to start with this. Tony, I'm going to give you, let's say, 30 seconds to say who you think is going to win.
30.
Because, Kev, some inside knowledge. He actually put a poll, not once, but definitely twice, on his Instagram stories to outsource his picks for this game. Tony, I ask you who wins between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. Go.
I'm going to have to go with Connor on this one. If it actually happens, like Kevin thinks it's not going to happen, think he's going to outstrike Khabib, and maybe he's going to bring his dolly into the ring and throw it at him.
Very good. Kevin, do I need to put time on here? No. You know what, Kevin, I'm going to give you 40 seconds to say who you think is going to win this fight. Go.
Whoa.
This hurts because every time he does something, he sounds more like human garbage and less like someone I ever want to have a conversation or a grapple with, to borrow a Josh Palmer term. But I am going to have an MMA match decision, and that is, I think Khabib is going to win for simple fact of who's been fighting and who's been in court. It's never great when your marquee athlete's last big win it's been a while. It's way before the boxing match. This is basically one of those, this is the time where they send in a fresh prisoner in the show Oz in the HBO 1990s. Oh you do not want to see what happens when you've been out of the shit for a while. You got to stay in the shit. I'm going with Khabib because Russia sucks and he knows it. This is the meal ticket.
I want to ask our fans, like, I don't know if this happens now, but maybe when we're bigger in the future, if they can go back and count the number of Oz references Kevin has, like, sprinkled through the 300 plus episodes that we have here, because I never expect them. But when they, like, happen, I pause for a second. I go, I think it's been about 40 episodes since Kevin's done a fucking Oz reference. And you know what? The dumb part is I go, they're always appropriate. Kevin loves that show. Like, there's more Oz references than there is The Wire. And I feel like there's something wrong with that, Kevin.
I tried to show Victoria because it's free on Amazon. There's a nice plug. I skipped right to season 3, and immediately it's fucking one of the Irish guys killing the nurse's husband and the doctor. And it's just like, God damn it. This show's amazing, right? And she's just like crying in the corner. It's like, maybe we'll find another time to bond over this.
Every once in a while, I get that. I think it's Corrupt who did a theme song, Life Behind the Walls with Nate Dogg. And the weirdest part about this particular rap song is that he tries to infuse characters and storylines in a gangster rap G-Funk song about Oz from the soundtrack Oz.
Excuse me?
Yeah, do you not know this exists?
I'll check it. I'll look into it. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'm in now.
It's amazing. It's legit an amazing song, and Nate's hook is so ridiculously good. And the people who are listening to me understand I'm not brown-splaining to my white friend. I'm just giving him some suggestions on an amazing thing he should pick up on.
Well, hey, Tony, have you seen Oz? Are you familiar with that show? You know what we're talking about?
I have not seen Oz.
Wow. Missing out. It's a real gritty prison drama. You do not want to mess with that obesity in a kitchen. That's all I'm going to say.
You said it's on Amazon Prime? I can watch that.
Yeah, you can definitely call it up after this. So I know that you've got your night planned out. Kevin, I'm going to ask you to do us a solid. Can you tell us who is going to win as tiebreakers, just in case we get there? Because you guys did pick a few fights that are the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
In the event of a tie, what are the 2 performances of the night and the fight of the night?
First performance of the night goes to Tony Ferg. Second performance of the night goes to Ricky Martin when he does the national anthem. Kidding. That's not actually happening because this fight's not actually happening, but that is as real a premise as the fight themselves. Now I'm going to go with, I can't go with Pettis, right? I have to pick one for next performance of the night. Damn it.
No, you got to do a fight of the night.
Well, I've got one performance. That goes to Tony Ferg. The next one I'm going to give to OSP because he usually brings the noise. And then finally, fight of the night is going to go to, this is easy, Khabib Conor.
Okay, because they got to give him more money.
They got to give him more money. There's a simple equation here. Let's not fuck around with it.
All right, same question over to you, Tony.
Fight of the night, Khabib Conor. Performance, and go with Showtime Pettis. That guy's always entertaining to watch. Is that it?
Nope, you need one more.
Muscle appeal? No, one more?
One more.
Let's go with Volkov.
Go with who?
Volkov. Drago.
Volkov.
Okay.
Tron.
Okay. Sorry, you just cut out on the important part when I was double checking here. All right. Voltron indeed. All right, Tony. We've come to the point where do you have a bet in mind? Should you win that you would like Kevin to fulfill, or did you like what he put out there? I allow your creativity to go.
My creativity. So when McGregor decisions Khabib, I expect to get happy rolling Instagram shout outs from you guys for the next 30 days.
Okay. Let's do this. Because
Way
people are going
too
to get
much. That's
Okay.
way too many days.
Yeah, people are going to get sick more of
Come
you
on.
than us. I guarantee you that. But it's mostly because they're going to look over and be like, we get it. You guys did a show together. I'm not against doing some social media shout outs. However, you do know it's best out of whoever wins all of the picks, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, so yours is social media. Kevin, would you rather stick to the bet that you offered because it wasn't bad, or would you like a mix of the two?
So we'll give him the happy rolling BJJ, like the review of a lifetime. How's that for like a 30-second? Like he invented, and this is no joke, the first printer that created a meme. We're talking primo stuff. In exchange for, I want a day's worth of memes dedicated to the Netflix series show I've pitched. Pettis and Herrig.
Pettis and Herrig, just sitcom.
Till death,
right,
till
I'll
the
take
third round do us part.
But is it Sergio Pettis? And
Sergio.
Felice?
Sergio.
But it's
yeah.
not. It's not Anthony, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's Sergio. It's the Prince and the Pet. It's the Prince and the Herrig.
But does Anthony show up as a guest feature at some point during the season?
The
He's a
evil
he's a
king
cameo.
brother. Absolutely. He's just there to
Okay.
keep their love apart, Raph. He bans fighting. No one's
can I-
allowed to fight.
Can I make it very clear? Because whoever, I mean, if you have to do this meme, Tony, I don't know if you're
Yeah.
prepared for how few people will enjoy this meme. Like, it's such a centralized joke that people will look at it and say, like, what is this kid on? When he says happy, I mean, how much weed is he on?
Oh, and that's really funny is people do think Happy Rolling is some kind of weed reference.
Yeah, so did I.
Always getting
immediately.
10 Planet people. yeah. See?
The best part about it is you could tell them you don't smoke weed and they'd be like, that's cool. I'm glad you smoke weed.
Yeah, we get it. Neither do
That's
we.
why I had to add the BJJ part on there.
Smart idea. Okay. Kev, are we kind of at a accord, Tony? Are we good on that?
Sure, let's do it. I'm in. Pettis Herrig.
All right, let's do this. So one of our customary offers that we always do on the show is everybody goes away. We watch the fights. And then would you be willing to come back next week and talk the fights with us, sir?
I'm willing to. Let's do it.
Excellent. So if people are interested...
I'll be prepared.
That's iffy. Though you will actually very potentially be more prepared than me because I will be at a wedding and I will not be able to watch it live. Shut up. Don't give me your shit. And
Who's getting married?
Who's getting married? Like two people who I'm going to disown after this wedding. No, they're two of my good friends that I feel very badly that they chose a poor date for me. But I wish them happy wedding bliss, and we're very excited about it. However, as Kevin has professed, this fight is
Not happening. Your friends are
Okay.
geniuses. They were like, Raph, trust us. We've heard about the UFC's record. That fight's not happening.
So the best part about this is, Kev, are you prepared to be called like a messiah if you do get this right, or did you just go off of statistics? Because we're like, what, 6 days out.
It's,
Really, 6 days? Yeah.
it's the best because the internet has made it to where I could either claim it was parody or I'm ready to start my own podcast called The Divine One, a UFC predictor. Either way, Ref, I'm pretty locked in to be just fine on Sunday morning. Look, I'll be around Saturday evening, probably doing nothing, which is what we'll be on. Maybe we'll see if SNL can bring in another celebrity to make me terrified about the news. I don't know, but I won't be watching this fight.
So, all right, let's now talk about this. Tony, where can people go find your stuff, like your social media, all of your Facebook, all that good stuff?
Yeah, you guys can find me Instagram at Happy Rolling BJJ. Same thing with Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel. I know I haven't put out videos in a long time, but it's coming back slowly and surely.
I mean, you don't need to do that. Those videos do too well. And that was initially why I didn't like you, is because I saw how well your first video did, and I was like, oh, let's slow our roll, kid.
Yeah, that video blew up. Like, if Facebook views got money, I think it's at like 800,000 views. And I was like, wow, no money.
Yeah, I know. That's the unfortunate thing they don't really reveal to you. Everybody thinks, like, whenever we do memes, they're just like, oh, man, you guys must live off your lavish cocaine in your mansions. And it's like, no, I'm usually on the shitter, and I just kind of come up with something while I've got 5 minutes. So it's usually what happens. Tony, you're a super nice kid, and I'm glad that you were able to handle the shit-talking aspect of all of this. If people really want to see you, and I suggest they do, a lot of your memes are very, very funny. Happy Rolling _BJJ. Go check them out. I'm looking forward to a lot of your stuff because I really do think it is very funny. And Kev, do you have anything you'd like to say?
You have any suggestions of what you want to see?
I mean, I'll tell you off air. I'm not going to give it away for everybody because he told us that there may be something coming in November. And I was like, under no circumstances are we going to talk about something that's maybe going to come.
Well, Happy Rolling BJJ. Be sure to look for their November happiest tapping position film show. It's going to be sponsored. It's great. Everybody submit. Find yourself tapping in your favorite position to get submitted. Happy Rolling BJJ on all the social medias.
Beautiful. And shout out to Grappling Profession.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is